I started noticing it when people around me began acting off. They wouldn't answer my calls, wouldn't look me in the eye. One of my coworkers quit without saying goodbye, just stopped showing up. It's like something was pushing them away from me. And I didn't know why, until I checked my backpack. It was a Tuesday, one of those bland midweek mornings when your brain just scrapes through routine. I was late for work, trying to fish my headphones out from the bottom of my bag when I felt it, this hard little disc wedged into the inner seam. I almost ignored it. Almost. It was an AirTag. I didn't own one. At first, I assumed someone slipped it in by mistake. Maybe it was from a friend, or maybe it was part of some random Apple testing glitch. I tossed it in my drawer at work and didn't think much of it. But then, the pattern got worse. People started avoiding me altogether. Sandra from HR, who used to chat with me every morning while getting coffee, suddenly kept her office door closed. My gym buddy stopped responding to messages. Even my own brother left my texts on read for 3 days straight, something he never does. It was like I was radioactive, like being near me was dangerous. And the weirdest part? No one would say anything. The final straw came when my landlord sent me a cold, templated email. Effective next month, I will not be renewing your lease. No further explanation will be provided. I hadn't missed a single payment. I remember sitting on my bed, reading that email over and over, feeling like my world was glitching. That's when I finally decided to really look at that AirTag. I connected it to my phone. It was registered under a name I hadn't seen in 7 months. Rachel. Even just seeing her name made my stomach tighten in that old, ugly way, like the body remembers what the mind keeps trying to forget. 7 months ago, I told her it was over. Blocked her on everything. She didn't take it well. She showed up at my job. Waited outside my apartment twice. Left long, rambling voicemails full of those disturbing half-truths and gaslighty questions like, "Was it real for you, or just a game?" That last message ended with, "I know you're still watching me. I feel you watching." I wasn't. But maybe she was watching me. When I saw her name on that AirTag, my hands went cold. I just stared at it, sitting there on my desk next to my keyboard like a tooth someone had pulled from my life and dropped in front of me. How long had it been there? How long had she known where I was, where I went, who I saw? The thought made my neck itch. I threw the AirTag in my desk drawer and shut it like it might crawl out. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay in bed listening for noises I couldn't explain. My phone buzzed once, no message, just a phantom vibration. I checked every app, every setting, no sign. But I felt something, like a presence sitting just outside my periphery. At 2:13 a.m., I opened my laptop, logged into an old Apple ID I hadn't touched in over a year. One Rachel had helped me set up back when we were still us. There it was. The AirTag had been connected to my backpack for 3 weeks. 3 weeks of logging every place I'd been, including 2 nights I stayed at someone else's place. Someone new. That's when it hit me. She hadn't just been watching me. She'd been watching anyone who got close. And suddenly, all those people who'd pulled away, maybe they didn't leave me. Maybe they were being warned. I called Marissa the next day. We had gone out a few times. Nothing serious, but easy fun. She was warm, sarcastic, like dumb trivia and strong coffee. The last time we saw each other, we laughed so hard, I thought we were actually getting somewhere. Then she ghosted me. No explanation. Just vanished. Now I was beginning to think I knew why. The phone rang twice before it went to voicemail. I didn't leave a message. What would I even say? "Hey, sorry if you got threatened by my ex? Have you been tracked lately?" I didn't have proof. Not yet. But I felt it, like a sticky film over every moment, every place I'd been. Something was wrong, and the longer I ignored it, the more it seemed to grow. At work, no one looked me in the eye anymore. I caught one guy, Mark, a quiet tech, staring at me through the break room glass. But when I turned, he flinched like he'd been burned and walked off without a word. That afternoon, I opened my drawer to check on the air tag. It was gone. Not misplaced. Not buried. Gone. I asked the cleaning staff, the front desk. Nothing. I reviewed camera footage. That was the first time I saw it. A figure, blurred and hooded, slipping into the office after hours. I paused the feed. Not because I recognized the person, but because of the posture. The way the head tilted slightly. The way the hands stayed in the pockets, always. It was familiar. Rachel used to stand like that when she got quiet during fights. Like she was listening to something inside herself instead of me. That night I didn't go home. I booked a cheap motel, used cash, left my phone in the glove compartment. It didn't feel paranoid. It felt necessary. But at 3:41 a.m., there was a knock on the door. 3 times. Not loud, but sure. I froze. Didn't breathe. I waited 10 minutes. Nothing. When I finally crept over and looked through the peephole, the hallway was empty. Except for a folded sheet of paper slid under the door. I picked it up with shaking hands. One line. Printed. "You really thought they left you on their own?" I sat there staring at the note for a long time. "You really thought they left you on their own?" The letters were laser printed. No handwriting to analyze, no smudges, no fingerprints. Just sterile, calculated menace. I thought of everyone who'd pulled away from me these past few months. Marissa. My brother. Even people I barely knew. Had she reached out to them? Pretended to be me? Warned them? Threatened them? It didn't matter. The damage was already done. I didn't go back to my apartment. I knew better now. I started staying in motels. Paying cash. Swapping SIM cards. It felt like I was hiding from a ghost I wasn't even sure existed. But she existed. Rachel always knew how to blend in. We met at a college writing workshop years ago. She wrote twisted little monologues about women who watched their neighbors and never slept. Her mind fascinated me, sharp, curious, a little too intense, maybe. The first red flag should have been the way she asked questions. Not normal questions. Not, "How was your day?" More like, "If you ever vanished, what's the one thing no one would notice was gone?" Or, "Do you think people deserve to know the worst thing about someone they love?" Back then, I thought it was poetic. Now it just feels like foreshadowing. We dated for 2 years. The last 6 months were heavy. I'd feel watched in my own home. She'd know things about people I hadn't mentioned. And once, just once, she made a joke during an argument. "I know more about you than you do." I laughed. She didn't. Last night, I finally heard from someone who hadn't vanished. It was a private message on an old backup Reddit account I'd forgotten existed. No username. Just a subject line. "She did it to me too." There was a file attached. I clicked. It was a voice memo. A woman. Shaky voice. Unfamiliar. "If you're reading this, she's watching again. Don't respond here. Don't try to contact me. She turns everyone into her eyes. She doesn't forgive. She doesn't forget. She just watches." The voice in the to a knock on my car window. I'd slept in the parking garage, in the back seat. It was a woman. Late 30s. Nervous energy. Holding a paper bag and looking over her shoulder like someone was filming her. She said one sentence. "You don't know me." But I knew Rachel. My mouth was dry. I didn't speak. She handed me the bag. Inside, a flip phone, a printed photo of Rachel, and a sticky note that read, "Call this number when you're ready to lose everything." I didn't call the number right away. I kept the phone powered off, wrapped in foil, stuffed in my glove compartment like some radioactive artifact. But I carried the photo with me. It was a candid Rachel, maybe 19 or 20, sitting on a rooftop laughing. Freckles. No makeup. Wind pulling her hair sideways. She looked normal. The sticky note, though, that was something else. "Call this number when you're ready to lose everything." Not learn the truth. Not get help. Just lose everything. 2 days later, I cracked. Not out of bravery, out of exhaustion. My money was drying up. I hadn't slept a full night in weeks. My own thoughts were turning on me, second-guessing everything. And deep down, I think I already knew. This wouldn't end until I let it. So I turned the flip phone on. It buzzed once. No welcome screen. No setup. Just a dialer. I pressed the number, the only one saved. It rang 6 times. Then a voice answered. Female. Calm. No hello. "She's done it to 5 others that I know of. 1 disappeared. 2 were institutionalized. 1 changed identities. 1's dead." My voice came out cracked. "Who are you? Doesn't matter. What matters is what she took from you." Silence. "You think you're the victim. That's what makes you vulnerable. But Rachel doesn't stop people. She breaks them. Slowly. On purpose. You don't see it until it's too late." I swallowed. "Then why help me?" Pause. "Because she almost got me too." She told me to meet her. Neutral location. No phones. No questions. An old self-storage facility off the I-87. 9 p.m. I went. The facility was dim, deserted, reeking of mildew and time. Unit 203. Metal door half open. I pushed it. Inside, a corkboard. Papers, photos, newspaper clippings. One face repeated. Mine. Not just me today. Me 5 years ago. Me in college. Even a blurry photo from high school. Standing next to my locker. On the back of one photo. "He always forgets the details. It's what makes it so easy." I stumbled back, breath stuck in my chest. She wasn't just watching me. She'd known me before I ever knew her. I stared at that photo for what felt like hours. High school. Same haircut. Same backpack I still used. But I don't remember that day. I don't remember that photo being taken. And the worst part? I don't remember meeting Rachel at that age. But the handwriting on the back, my handwriting, said otherwise. "He always forgets the details. It's what makes it so easy." The woman from the phone was already gone. She'd left a single envelope, duct taped to the inside of the unit door. Inside, a USB drive, a birth certificate, and a manila file folder labeled "Third Cycle Observed." I didn't understand any of it, not then. But over the next week, I pieced together just enough to ruin my own understanding of who I was. The USB held screen recordings. Me, in therapy sessions I didn't remember attending. Logging into accounts I never created. Talking to people I don't know. All time-stamped over the last 10 years. In one video, Rachel is behind me, out of focus, but visible. She's holding a notepad. Watching. Writing. I don't turn to face her. I keep talking. Like I'd done this before. The birth certificate was mine. But the name on it wasn't. It wasn't a misspelling. It wasn't a twin. It was a completely different identity. Same date of birth. Same hospital. Different name. Different parents. At the bottom, someone had written in red ink, "Construct terminated, loop unstable." I stopped sleeping. The corkboard kept flashing in my head, like a slideshow I couldn't turn off. People who disappeared. People she warned. All pieces of a puzzle I thought I was solving, until I realized I was the puzzle. I wasn't her victim. I wasn't even her ex. I was her project. The last thing I received was a package with no return address. Inside, my own notebook, the one I thought I'd lost years ago. On the first page, written in that same perfect handwriting, "We'll start again soon. You always forget eventually." I moved, changed my number, my face, my voice. But every time I open a new email, a new account, a new life, she's already there, waiting.